Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another BlackSwanRadio.com production. Welcome to my podcast, where I have worldview discussions to spark thought-provoking conversations. One of the main reasons why is because, I, like many others, find myself surfing the internet, and the internet is a place, right? Because it's been centralized, right, to really the metaverse for people of my generation. I just recently set up TikTok, which I'm doing for the Illuminated Nubians.com production. And, the idea is to create content that the next generation can use to navigate the world for themselves, right? And, I'm 44 now, and I've been through my trials, and I've experienced a wonderful life so far, and which is kind of amazing because some of the things that I've been through have been such severe or seriously challenging. But what God has shown me in my life since I've been 18, more or less, is so amazing that it supersedes the things that I guess I could say be victimized by, and that's one thing that fortifies me and constantly keep me optimistic about the future, because I've been in circumstances where it was like, wow, once you have been at rock bottom so many times, you realize that you can use the stones, right, people throw at you. You can use the negatives as a launching pad to give yourself a new start, a fresh beginning, learning from the lessons of the past. But the message of this broadcast really is to really think about how we're being entertained, or as I like to say, entertrained. Like, it's what we expose ourselves or what we absorb from the atmosphere should be illuminating, meaning it should be shining light upon you rather than putting you in a place of darkness. And this is what we call low vibrational, right? Low vibration. And sometimes, we like a balance of high and low vibration. Life isn't about being at one steady line. And this is what I think a lot of the females are saying online, right? They are not going to subject themselves to a monogamous existence, right? But no one wants to say certain things. But monogamous is really about finding one person, settle down, and be with that person for a lifetime. And the mentality that you have to have with that type of deal is you need to be willing to settle. You absolutely need to be able to submit to your partner during particular times, right? And your partner has to learn to submit to you, right, during certain periods of time. This is a give and take. This is not something that is one-sided. And so the language that is used in the mainstream social media, if you look at where the information is coming from, it's coming from people who don't have the results, but people who have learned that this is the trend, this is the problem. And so people can highlight the problem, but not too many people can highlight the solution to the problem. And when you do highlight the solution to the problem, then people get rid of get rid of that person. You see what I'm saying? You get a person like Kevin Samuels, who brings it to you raw, like Andrew Tate, who bring it to you raw. And these are just two examples, but people who bring truth in its rawest form end up crucified by the people. And of course, he's causing unrest amongst those who are the lords, or the high priest, or the elders, or the Pharisees, the Sadducees, in other words, right? The people, the clergy. But the clergy understands this is just one man. And they know that one man just has his own time, because the people will get him. As soon as he makes the people uncomfortable, then they'll get him. And so in the story of Christ, when he began to imply that he was the Son of God, that was, you see his story begin to come to his conclusion. Right? Before, he referred to himself as the Son of Man. And people don't understand that there's a difference between the Son of Man and the Son of God, because these are two different lineages. See, the sons of God is the sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. These guys came from the Mediterranean by way of Mesopotamia. Now, Mesopotamia is connected, right, by the Euphrates to Assyria. So the Assyrian in the north and the Euphrates flows south into what we would call Babylonia, or today Iraq. And this is the world as it is today, and it was 2,000 years ago, 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago. And this is half of the story, but the story that has been brought to our attention, the perspective we see things from. We see Abraham coming into the land of Canaan and then going into the land of Egypt, causing plagues in Egypt, followed by Moses, who turned the waters of Egypt into blood. And these are metaphors where they bring in war. The death of Egypt, the death of the Nubian culture, came as a result of the invasion of these people coming from Mesopotamia in the form of soft power, right? The process of domestication. So Genesis 2 describes during an agricultural era, right? The first two problems were the Lord God had not caused it to rain. Well, God could cause rain. God caused the floods, right? But the Lord did not have the ability. He was not the masters of the heavens and the earth, but he was the master of the lands, the personification of God walking upon the earth. Because this was a belief. This is a man's ambition to exhibit the Most High, to embody the Most High Spirit. His highest form, to practice his craft in its highest form, put it that way. And so the solution to the problem was the Nile River. River, not rain. God had not caused it to rain. So a mist went up and watered the garden. And then it says, now a river watered the garden and departed and became 4 riverheads. And the first 2 rivers, Pishon and Gihon. Pishon was in Havilah, Gihon is in Cush, right? You have to go from Egypt into Havilah, then you into Cush. And then you go into Punt. And this is the Nile River Valley. But the Genesis begins in the land of Cush. Right? Havilah is the offspring, the son. Genesis 10:7. Havilah is described as the son of Cush, the second son of Cush, after Seba. I say all of this to say is that the African history has been taken out of context. The fact that Adam was taken from the deity Atum, the creator of Genesis 1:27. And this is the reason why he's considered the first man, although the first man named in the Bible is Havilah. And then Cush, and then the Assyrian Empire. And then Adam was given his name in verse 19 when the Lord God formed the beast of the field, which is different than God who made the beast of the earth. And this is the difference between God made the wolf and man made the dog. God made the mouflon, man made the sheep. God made the aboriginal, and the Lord God made me.